What's up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers. These are my DFS PGA picks for the RBC Heritage. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another PGA video, coming off of a very solid return to PGA for me. Hopefully you guys did good as well. My cash lineup hit, my single entry lineup hit, had a lot of the right players in my player pool. Daniel Berger, one of my core plays, finished first. He was my third highest owned golfer. Morikawa, another one of my core plays, finished second. He was my fourth highest owned golfer. Seemed like I did play all of the right plays. I think 5 out of the 6 of the golfers in that winning lineup were in my player pool, which is awesome to see. I do pride myself a lot on my player pool. It seemed like last year, it seemed like every week the winner of the golf tournament was in my player pool most of the time, and I don't see that changing this year at all. So gonna be giving you guys my favorite golf picks here, like 20 of them. Towards the end of the week, I'll typically get around 25 in my player pool. So if you guys want all that and more, I got to get into this right here. This sheet was actually not here last week, so everybody that signed up last week did not have access to this, but it is back. So what happened was I get all my stats from PGAtour.com. Something went wrong with their website. I ended up losing this whole model, which took me months to do, so I was really upset about it. But the website is fixed and it is back. And yeah, lots of good stuff here. This is where I get all my stats from. We got the golfer info, strokes gained stats. I'll put a star next to the stats we're looking for. And of course, we got the rankings over here to the right. It shows you guys what we're looking for, who's good at what. And then, like I said, I put a star next to it, so it's really easy to navigate towards. And then we got my targets page, which was also here last week. Lots of good stuff here. I'll put new and highlight that in yellow for any new plays I have. My projections, my rankings, my lineup percentages, example cash build, which hit last week, and course info page as well. Lots of good stuff on there for you guys. $5 a month. I try to make it as cheap as possible. A lot of you guys signed up. And a lot of you guys signed up for the $15 option, which is the all sports access, which is probably the best deal out there. It has, 4 sports, MMA, NASCAR, PGA, and NFL when it comes back. So lots of good stuff on there. I would love to get 100 patrons by the end of the month. I'm at 83, so if we can get 17 more. Also get my core plays article on there, which 2 of them finished really, really good. But yeah, just wanted to get into that. I'll put the link in the description for you guys. And yeah, before we start the video, get into my plays. If you guys can leave a like, also subscribe if you haven't yet. Really appreciate that. Moving my way up to 3,000 subscribers. I think I'm like 500 away or less. So if we can get that by August, that'd be awesome. All right, so course info here, real quick. Harbor Town Golf Links. It's a par 71, 7,099 yards, 4 par 3s, 11 par 4s. 3 par 5s. I believe it's top 70 makes the cut. We got a big field this week. Key stats, par 4 average we're looking at. Strokes gained off the tee, bogey avoidance, strokes gained on approach, birdie or better percentage, ball striking, and par 5 average this week. So with that said, let's get into the player pool here. All right, so these plays can be used for DraftKings. They can be used for FanDuel. I'm a DraftKings guy. I play FanDuel, every so often, but DraftKings every week for me. Starting with the 10K and up range, there are actually 4 guys I like this week. You got Rory. He has been amazing this year. I mean, he had a pretty rough round 4 his last tournament, but other than that, he was looking amazing his last tournament. I don't know what happened that round 4. Just did not look good at all. But he does have an average finish of 10 in his last 7 tournaments. He looked amazing in his last tournament, but I don't know what happened. But yeah, he was looking fine until then. 5th in strokes gained off the tee, 2nd in strokes gained on approach, 2nd in bogey avoidance. All the stats are there. Best player on the whole slate, and yeah, I'm gonna be playing him probably every time he plays, especially in a tournament like this where it's not as strong. I think he can have a lot of success here at 11,300. They did drop his price down like 500 as well, so I do like Rory quite a bit. Bryson, 10,700. His best finishes here are 4th and 3rd. He does have 4 top 5s in a row. Has been playing very, very solid. It was very good last week as well. 2nd in strokes in off the tee, 7th in par 4 average, 3rd in bogey avoidance, and 10th in birdie or better percentage. So yeah, I like Bryson quite a bit. Probably one of my favorite plays. Would not be surprised if he even won this tournament. I like the price, which was a little bit lower, but you can't complain with a guy in Bryson's caliber there at 10,700 at all. Xander Schauffele, 10,200. Love the price here. Finishes of 63 and 32 here, so not the best. Average finish of 16 in his last 5 tournaments, has been playing very well. 9th in strokes gained on approach, 4th in par 4 average, 6th in par 5 average, 9th in bogey avoidance. Yeah, I like Xander quite a bit. Probably put Bryson and Rory ahead of him, though. Colin Morikawa, I had him in cash last week. I had him in single last week. Had him in a lot of lineups. Ended up doing very, very well. And he was lower owned than I thought. He was a lot lower owned than I thought it'd be. Such a good play last week. They did bump his price up, but he's just been fantastic this year. He has no course history here. Same with last week. There's no course history last week, I believe. Average finish of 20.8 in his last 5 tournaments this season. First in strokes gained on approach, 22nd in birdie or better percentage. Has made 12 out of 12 cuts this year, I believe, and he's made 22 or 23 straight cuts. So has been killing it this year. All the way back to last year when he first started, he's been making cuts. I think he's a safe play. I like him a lot. Getting to the 9K range, there's not much here this week. There might be some guys I added, some guys I'm looking at, like Hideki, Sungjae. But so far, these are the 2 I like the most. Webb Simpson, I know he missed the cut last week, barely. Was looking decent, he struggled at times. Average finish of 29 here in his last 5 tournaments. First of all, I love the price of 9,000. He's made 9 cuts here in a row, so a very good course history with the average finish of 29.5 this season. He is first in par 4 average, first in bogey avoidance, first in birdie or better percentage. All the stats are there. Hopefully he's lower owned because he did miss the cut last week. I like Webb Simpson quite a bit. Justin Rose, 9,200. No course history. Started the season off awful. I was on him last week due to the fact that I thought he'd be low owned. He was a little bit higher owned than I thought he'd be, but he finished like 3rd. But he seemed to have got it together with a very good finish last week. Great play if he can build off of last week and keep it rolling. Don't mind Rose at all at 9,200. All right, 8K range. I like this range quite a bit. Lots of great plays here. There's even some guys I'm probably going to add in my player pool later in the week. Daniel Berger, price is way too high, but it is warranted. Finishes of 33 and 72 here. Average finish of 9.6 in his last 5 tournaments. Extremely good. 9.6 is best on the slate, I believe. 29th in strokes gained off the tee. 14th in birdie or better percentage. And he's a cut maker. He's missed 1 cut this year. 8,900. I know he just won the tournament, but he's been fantastic. So I'm going to play some Berger here. Dustin Johnson has finished 28th and 16th here. I love the price of 8,600. Average finish of 40 this season. He has been struggling, but he can definitely get it going this week. 20th in strokes gained off the tee. We've never seen Dustin Johnson play this bad, I don't think. He's bound to get it together some point, and it could be this tournament. And at 8,500, I am definitely willing to take a shot there on Dustin Johnson. I know he's not listed here, but just somebody I'm looking at there. Gary Woodland, he is 8,400, way underpriced at 8,400. That's way too cheap for Gary Woodland here. Finished 78th here 7 years ago. Other than that, not much course history for him. Has made 8 out of 9 cuts this year. Had a top 10 last tournament, and he has amazing value as well. So, like Woodland quite a bit, especially at that price. Matt Kuchar, 8,300, average finish of 10 here in his last 5 tournaments. 5 top 10s in his last 6 tournaments played here. Solid stats all around. I love the price of 8,300. He just barely missed a cut last week. I think he can get it going this week, and he has amazing course history. Tony Finau, 8,200. He is way underpriced at 8,200. Finished 39th and 72 here. Average finish at 32.6 in his last 5 tournaments. Great stat fit. 7th in strokes gained on approach. 28th in bogey avoidance. 24th in birdie or better percentage. Way too cheap for Finau. I'm all over him this week. Tyrell Hatton, 8,000. Average finish of 6.8 this season. Has been absolutely fantastic. Finishes of 1, 6, 14, and 6. Not the best course history with finishes of 29 and 110. But if the layoff didn't affect him here, he has so much value here at 8,000. Fantastic play. But we don't know about that layoff for him. So something to look at there with Hatton. 7K range, you got Scotty Scheffler, 7,800. High upside play at a great price. Great birdie maker and GPP play. No course history, but his stats are very, very solid. Nice upside play if he can get hot. Did fine last week, struggled in that 4th round, but other than that, he did all right. Ian Poulter, average finish of 20 in his last 5 tournaments here. He has yet to miss a cut this year and has an average finish of 23 this year as well. Great course history and current form, and he fits his course really well. So don't mind Poulter at all at 7,600. Joel Damon, 7,500, finished 16th here last year, average finish of 10.8 in his last 5 tournaments. Played this year, solid stats all around. He's been playing fantastic. So 7,500, I think, is a great price for Damon there. Harris English, 7,300, a guy that burned me last week, but I'm going to go right back to him. He barely missed that cut. Had a very good 4th round, just could not get into... He had a very good 2nd round, just could not make that cut. Just missed the cut last week. Like I said, decent course history here besides a missed cut in 2017. Has been really good this year. 23rd on strokes gained off the tee. Pretty good putter and a little underpriced here at 7,300. I know he missed the cut, so hopefully that lowers his ownership. I think he's a great play at 7,300. Adam Hadwin, 7,300 as well. Finishes of 48, 22, 30, and 87. Average finish at 38 this season. 23rd in strokes gained on approach. Great putter. 16th in bogey avoidance. Nice value play at 7,300. Hadwin was looking very good like the first couple rounds. Ended up not having the best. I think it was his 3rd or 4th round. But overall he did fine, especially for his price last week. I think he can continue that success this week. Taylor Gooch, 7,000. He's been very, very consistent this year. Average finish of 33 in his last 5 tournaments, and an average finish of 35 in his last 10 tournaments played this season. Has made 13 out of 14 cuts this year, so I like this play a lot at the price. I think he's a safe play. He's been very, very good, very consistent. All right, punt range, not much down here, honestly. There might be a play I add or two, but Luke Donald, he is 7,000. Crazy course history. Listen to this. Finishes of 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 15, 37, 33, and 78. I'm not making that up. Very, very good here is Luke Donald. He's been average this year, but he did finish 11th his last tournament, so maybe he's starting to come into form here. At 7,000, willing to take a shot at a punt play due to the course history just being fantastic. Matthew Nesmith, 6,600. A play I had a lot of. He's my highest owned punt play last week. It worked out great. He made the cut. He was less than 1% owned. He did pretty good. He had 2 eagles throughout the tournament, which eagles are worth like 8 points, so that was awesome. He scored very, very well for a punt play for his price, so that was awesome to see. Hopefully he can keep it up. They even lowered his price for us here at 6,600. He's been great this season, especially for his price. Average finish of 34.8 in his last 5 tournaments. Has had a top 20 in 4 of his last tournaments, and he has solid stats all around, so... I do like Nesmith quite a bit, especially that price. That price is just way too cheap for Matthew Nesmith. All right, some low-owned targets. So these guys are the guys I'm probably going to get in my player pool throughout the week. I know I put 2 in there last week that were on my low-owned targets. Woodland was on there last week. I believe Rose was on there last week as well. So they ended up doing very, very well. I would not be surprised if any of these guys had a lot of success, but. John Rahm, 10,500. Going to be probably lower owned than usual because he did miss that cut. He did not look very great last week, so going to be some recency bias there to lower his ownership. He can obviously pop off any tournament. Brooks, 8,600. He's been awful this year, but he did make the cut last week, and he did look all right. Not really where we want to see Brooks at yet, but some success last week. I believe finished like in the 30s or 40s. He didn't do bad. Made the cut. That's all that matters. 8,600, just so cheap. He should be a lot more expensive than that. He's just been awful this year, so he can pop off on any week, I feel like. So I'm taking a shot, probably at 8,600. Another guy, Dustin Johnson, touched on him a little bit, but I feel like he's going to be low owned. Has been awful this year. He's going to get it going at some point, and 8,500 just way too cheap. Like Brooks and Johnson should be a lot higher price than that. And then Ricky Fowler. Another guy that's been struggling this year, but 8,100 for a guy like Ricky Fowler is just absolutely insane to me. So 8,100, probably going to take a couple shots on that. That's just so cheap. So got to take a look at that. All right, guys, that's about it. Make sure you become a member of my Patreon and receive the full statistical model that you guys saw there. It took me like 2 months to make, get all the rankings, learn how to do the rankings and all that. It took me a long time. My player pool cheat sheet, I add plays throughout the week. My core plays article, my example cash build that hit last week, my lineup percentages, and my rankings, and also projections on there as well. $5 a month, $125 per tournament. I try to make it as cheap as possible for you guys. I don't want to, charge, a lot of money per, per month, per week. I want to, have really good content for a really good price for you guys. But yeah, make sure you guys check that out. I'll put the link in the description. If this video helped you guys out at all, make sure you give it a like. It really does go a long way. Also subscribe if you haven't yet. I would really like to hit 3,000 subscribers. I never even dreamed of getting this far. I started my channel about 2 years ago, year and a half, 2 years ago. Really started, taking it a lot more serious this year in 2020, and it's really helped out. So any subscribe really helps out with me. So that's about all I got. Hopefully it's another great tournament, and hopefully win some money. So that's about it, and good luck.